nervous system paradox. This could be why you keep visualizing, keep trying to make your dreams come true. You keep trying to receive the reality that you can feel is real, but for some reason, it's just not arriving. Nervous system paradox. This is the paradox of the human design. This is how the human body is wired to prevent you from receiving the reality that is trying to manifest. The moment you identify that you want something, it has manifest. It already exists. But our nervous systems, the programs, the beliefs, the definitions about reality that we have installed and wired into our nervous systems, they have a magnetic pull. They have magnetism. They filter the quantum realm. They filter the reality that you want into an experience that you allow yourself to receive through the filters of this inner wiring. Let me say that in a simpler way. If you have a belief that, or you have to sacrifice for money, let's use that one. If you have a belief that you have to sacrifice for money, and you keep focusing and visualizing yourself having a particular amount of money, but you have this belief that's literally it's stored in your nervous system, which means it's energy that exists inside of you, that you are believing in, that is emanating a reality around you. So when you visualize the money, or, when you visualize your wealthy self, but you aren't receiving it, it's because this belief inside of you is sabotaging the money that's trying to manifest in your reality. And why this is such a paradox is that the belief that's stored in your nervous system is, in a way, wiring your reality to protect you. There is a reason you've installed this belief. You believe in some way that this belief is benefiting you. So when you install this belief, you installed it for a reason. Maybe when you were a child, your parents spoke a particular way about wealthy people. And so you had all of these reasons wrapped around this belief, and you installed it to keep yourself safe, from money. You define money as evil and ruining people's lives and tearing families apart, all of these things. So this belief believes it's protecting you. And this is the paradox, because this belief actually is protecting you, because it is active inside of you for all of those reasons. It means that when you attract money, you attract all of the wiring of that belief too. So that's the paradox in our beliefs. The paradox is, if you install a belief that money is evil, when you do, if you do so happen to receive some money, if you do somehow tiptoe around that belief and actually receive some money, you will receive it from that premise, from that belief. It will be evil. It will tear families apart. It will do all of the things that you believe that it does, because that's what you believe about money. This is why the beliefs that we have stored in our nervous system are so important, because they are actually attracting reality. So for instance, if you had a bad relationship with a man and you believe all men are evil, or if you had a bad one with a woman and you believe all women are evil, this belief is stored inside of you. It has its own magnetic pull. So if you somehow manage to tiptoe around, if you somehow manage to keep regulating your nervous system to the point where it actually allows you to approach a woman or a man without being dysregulated, and you do so happen to let a man or woman in, this belief will attract a man or a woman that is evil, because that belief is active inside of you. So when our nervous system is trying to protect us from the man or the woman, from having these relationships because we believe people are evil, it's rightly so. It should be protecting you, because the belief itself is creating reality. Do you see what I mean? Let me go to the whiteboard. Let's draw this out. This is so important. When you grasp this, you really see that your beliefs are quite literally creating your whole reality. Let's go to the whiteboard. This is such a paradox in the human design, and I'm so excited to share this with you guys. Okay, so here you are, a powerful creator of reality. We're just going to focus on one belief in this video. We have to sacrifice for money. Money equals sacrifice. Money equals sacrifice. There is the belief system. And whenever you were taught this belief, all of the packaging that belief came wrapped in, money is evil, money tears families apart, is now active inside of you. You have this whole belief system, and the core belief is money is evil. You have to sacrifice for money. And so because you're building your physical reality, you live within that reality where people sacrifice for money. And therefore, this belief is creating reality. So you're aligned with sacrificing for money, you sacrifice for money. And so you're kind of playing this, I want money, but I have to sacrifice for it. You're living within this reality where this belief is true. But the thing is, that belief is only true because you've installed it. And you have the power to install another belief, which means that you will no longer live in a reality where you need to sacrifice for money. You can live in a reality where money grows on trees. You can live in any reality. Your beliefs are creating your reality. And so, because you have this belief that you have to sacrifice for money, you keep yourself at a certain amount of money because you can only sacrifice so much for money. Do you know what I mean? If you keep yourself having a little bit of money, because then you only have to sacrifice a little bit. So you hold yourself in this limited box where, okay, I have to sacrifice for money, but I'll just have a small amount because I have to sacrifice everything for money. And so I'll keep myself having a small amount because if I have any more, I have to sacrifice even more of myself. And I haven't got any more to give. And that's the paradox, because it's the belief itself that is holding you in this world where you have to sacrifice for money. And you should be scared of making more money because your belief about money means that if you do earn more money, you will have to sacrifice more for it because that's what you believe. However, if you install the belief, if you recognize that you're believing this belief, that is how you free yourself from a belief. You recognize that you're believing that belief. When you become conscious of a belief, it can no longer convince you that it's true, because you can only believe a belief for as long as that belief can convince you that it's true. The moment you recognize you're believing it, you recognize you have a choice and you can uninstall that belief. So when you find the core belief, oh yeah, I installed this belief, I have to sacrifice for money. And that's why I keep sabotaging me from receiving any more money, because I don't want to sacrifice any more of myself. And now I live within this whole world where I have to sacrifice for money and holding myself limited. And you can uninstall that belief and you can let go of those parts of reality, see them as choices, see them for what they really are. Oh, I see evidence of that belief active in my life. You can evolve the way you see these things by installing a new belief. Sacrificing for money is a choice. I can actually have fun and receive money. How's about that? And then when you install that belief, when you see all of the ways of sacrificing for money as a choice, and you install the new belief, I can actually have fun and receive money, you will start to build reality from that belief instead. And you will actually want to earn all the money because you no longer have to sacrifice for money, because you no longer believe that you have to sacrifice for money. You believe that money can come to you through joy. If you install the belief that money can come to you through joy, money will come to you from joy, quite literally. And when you have the belief money will come to me through joy, your nervous system will not hold you back. Your nervous system will stay regulated when you earn money, because it won't have to protect you because you have a negative limiting belief. It will actually allow you to earn loads and loads and loads of money because you have a positive belief that is driving your income, that is driving your wealth. Okay, your nervous system doesn't need to protect you from a negative belief. Your nervous system will allow you to create more money in your life because you're doing it through a positive way. There's no reason for your nervous system to sabotage and limit you when you have a positive belief about money. And therefore, you won't be able to stop money from coming into your life. The more joy you have, the more money you'll have. And that will just be how you're wired. And that will be the reality that you live within. And that is the paradox of the human body. The paradox of the human body is, if we have a negative experience in life and we never let it go, and we start to believe that that part of reality is evil or negative or mean or da 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 da, and then our nervous system starts to prevent us from having that experience, stops you from talking to women, stops you from talking to men to try and keep you safe, but therefore holding you back from all of the potential opportunities that are presenting themselves to you in your reality, where you could create the life you want. But actually, it's right that your nervous system protects you, because the belief that is active inside of you is aligning you with the wrong people anyway. So you need to tune that belief so that it aligns you with the kind women, the loving women, the funny women, the kind men, the funny men, the men that are working on themselves. If you believe that that is what men are, if you believe that that is what women are, you will align with those women, you will align with those men, and there will be no reason for your nervous system to feel like it needs to protect you. You will have a positive belief emitting itself from within you, and therefore your nervous system will not keep you stuck in a reality, believing that reality is negative and stopping you from wanting to live within it, because your belief systems are negative, holding you in a negative experience. If you have any comments or questions, please let me know. Lots of love.